How's it guys, my name is Warren and welcome to this fantastic video where I'm going to teach you how you can master the Instagram hashtag so that you're better able to market your brand, yourself as a personality, ultimately building up awareness around the products and services that you sell. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that I have written an ebook on this. It goes into a bit more detail. It's completely free and you're able to download it from the link in the description below. So let's get started. Now, before you start to use social media to market, you need to understand what your objectives are when it comes to marketing. You need to understand what type of content you want to create and how is that going to fit in line with your objectives. If I have a cell phone brand, there's no ways that I'm going to necessarily post pictures of plants because that doesn't really relate to the type of content that I am wanting to promote. Unless, for instance, you are using the plant picture as an example of the great camera quality. The next question you need to ask yourself is, who is my target audience? Instagram is also very big on communities and there are a lot of pockets all around the platforms. So it's important to make sure that you have a great understanding of who you want to target, because then once you've got it written down on a piece of paper and you can kind of visualize the desired person, you're able to formulate some kind of strategy and find great hashtags to find those exact people. Now that we've built our foundation and we have a great understanding of what we want to achieve, who our target audience is and where we think we're going to find them, we need to understand what the strategy is all about. I am a big believer in long-term relationships and I favor relationships over quick sales. I think building an authentic relationship is so much more important and valuable than just jumping in and out, making a sale and moving on to the next person. I am assuming that you guys all know what hashtags are on Instagram because that is why you're here. You will also notice that there are a lot of generic hashtags out there such as love, quotes, water, trees, very generic phrases which have millions and millions of posts categorized under that particular phrase. Often people think that when they're trying to market their brand, then they should use those hashtags because then there are a lot of people who would see them because there's like 5 million people who have used that particular post. I don't believe in that. I don't think that is a wise approach, because if you are posting something in a matter of seconds because of the sheer volume of people posting that same phrase, your post is literally going to go all the way down the line of recent posts and no one is going to see your content. So it's actually useless. It may be good for 3 seconds, but over a longer period of time, no one's really going to see your post and it's literally just going to be lost in the world of Instagram. So what I'm suggesting is finding hashtags that have between 5 to 80,000 users, give or take. Now these are niche hashtags, and because there aren't many people using them, you have a higher chance of actually ranking to the top post, meaning that your post is going to stay there for longer, you're going to have higher impressions, high engagements, and more people checking out your profile, clicking on your website and going to the rest of the user journey that you have planned for them. Now, the benefits of using this kind of strategy is you become more visible. If your post gets great engagement, you're more likely to rank in the top posts and have your post stick there for a while. And because there aren't a lot of other people posting on that, your post is likely to stay there for a lot longer. You also become a part of a community. Now, I know I've mentioned this a lot, but I can't stress this enough. Instagram is a platform where communities exist, and it's important to integrate yourself and become a part of something so that you're able to build up relationships and trust and authenticity, which means that people are going to become super curious about who you are, what you do, and essentially they're going to check out your website. You often find that these big communities are found on the hashtags that have between 5,000 to 80,000. It's a niche following, it's a niche audience. That's what you need to be targeting. Just to give you a quick example here, I have found that there's a particular hashtag called Creative Biz. It's full of other people who are posting about their own unique business journey. Now, if I was a business coach, for example, and I consulted smaller entrepreneurs, this would be the perfect hashtag to use. So approaching this community from a business side, if that's where my target audience is hanging out, well, that is definitely 100% where I want to be. So you may be asking yourself, Warren, how do I actually find these niche hashtags? What on earth do I even start searching for? What I would recommend is first start looking at your competitors. If you're looking at bigger brands, just be careful that you don't look at the branded hashtags. Often, if you are a company, you come up with your own particular hashtag and you don't really want to be posting with your competitors' hashtag. Go through all their hashtags and just literally, you're going to have to open so many new tabs. So what I do is I find the hashtags, I click, and I open up all these different tabs, and from there I see how many posts those particular hashtags have, and then I ask myself, does this fit in line with my business? If I find a hashtag and I see that it's got 1 million users, there must be some other hashtags within this hashtag that I can find. So then I go to the top posts of that particular hashtag, I start scrolling through, I see what other people are using, and I open up those hashtags in new tabs. I browse and I see what type of person is posting on that particular hashtag, how many users that has, do I feel like I am going to be able to join that community, can I be a part of that? That's essentially the long and the short of it. I recommend building a giant list of hashtags that are categorized according to the different types of content that you're posting. If you remember when we discussed earlier, once you've decided what you want to achieve, you need to come up with some kind of content calendar and content plan. And this is generally broken down between the types of content that you want to be posting throughout the week. If you find that you're using hashtags that aren't connected at all to the type of photo that you're posting, you aren't going to grow because you're not even targeting the right people. So you're completely off track. So now we've got the hashtags, great, awesome job. Now we need to become a part of that community. If you are a travel company, for example, if you're a budget travel company and you found this fantastic hashtag where people are asking for travel advice on where to go, what to do, affordable options, you have so much knowledge that you can actually give to them because you are a budget travel company. By answering questions and getting involved in the community, what you're doing is you are showing that you are more focused on building relationships than wanting to make a quick sale. And this is a super valuable thing, and you find that a lot of people actually value this so much more than you kind of shoving your service down their throat. You don't want to give away all your knowledge. Your intention here is to build up yourself as a brand leader. So what that means in that person's mind is, if you have successfully answered their question, the next time they maybe have another question, they're more likely to go and check out your website because they remember that you are a budget travel company and this is what you focus on and this is what you're good at doing, and they enjoyed the interaction that they had with you. They will then check out your website and are more likely to use it again in the future. That's pretty much the long and the short of how you should be approaching marketing on Instagram. You need to build up your solid foundation, understand what you're trying to achieve, who your target audience is, how you're going to target them. From there, you need to understand how you're going to find the perfect hashtags that are going to relate to the type of content that you're going to be posting. Once you've got a bunch of relevant hashtags, you then need to become involved in the community, build trust, get entrenched, go behind the lines, offer information, be super excited, build other people up, be there for the journey that other people are on, offer information, send them across to your website, and hopefully your website is well designed and you're able to kind of get a conversion. So hopefully this was informative and you learned a bit more about how you can be using Instagram to market your brand. If you are interested, you can download the free guide below. It does go into a bit more detail and it is laid out in a very easy to understand way. That was actually the first book that I put together, so I'm super impressed with how it's come out and it looks super sick and crisp and clean, and yeah, I'm really just excited. If you have any other questions or queries, please do not hesitate to leave a message down below. I am more than willing to help out. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.